What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and it is finally time for Odin to get his tier 3. Man, that took a while. Yeah, he just did not want to get his potential realized. I think I was getting like 2.5 potential, or 2.5% like every single day. There's only like 2 days where I got above the minimum roll. So yeah, he was fighting it, but we finally got him ready to go for tier 3, so that's what we're going to be doing today. The All-Father is going to be upgraded. I've been wanting to get him to tier 3 since I got his uniform here, because I did decide I wanted to do Odin over Silver Surfer in terms of my next tier 3. I'm still deciding on whether I'll do Silver Surfer as well when I get my universal books back. So yeah, let me know if you think I should just wait for the next tier 3 to see who's announced, or if I should just get Silver Surfer if you want to see me use him at all. But today is about Odin, so let's go ahead and take a look at my Odin here before we get him to tier 3. So as you can see, I've done a little bit. Actually, no, these are still those really old Uru. Yeah, these are these 1-star Uru that I still have on him, and I have no idea how these got here, to be honest. Because I don't remember ever putting 1-star Uru on him. But anyway, I haven't worked on him at all except getting him ready to tier 3. We have all of his gears ready to go finally. For his skills, I have everything leveled up except for the first skill. For his ISO 8 set, it's still sitting at just 4-star ISO 8s for Power of Angry Hulk, so I'll be upgrading that in a little bit here. And then the Obelisk, I still have his old Obelisk on, which is a guard break immunity 140 proc, so definitely can improve there. And his uniform is at rare. For this video here, I do plan to put him on a Ctp of Rage because I was impressed with him at tier 2 here with this uniform. So I was going to get him a Ctp of Rage and then try him out with that. But I will try him out with this Obelisk on first after I get him to tier 3. I did a little bit of gameplay with this current build here at tier 2 level 60. But at tier 3, I'm curious to see how he'll do with just a regular kind of damage proc Obelisk like I have here. And then we'll switch over to the big old Ctp of Rage and see the difference in damage and just see how much damage we can inflict here with Odin. But first we need to get him to tier 3, so let's go ahead and do that. We've got all the resources we need, so let's go ahead and advance him. Ooh, that was a really cool tier 3 animation, or tier 3 rank up animation. I really liked that. That was pretty cool. Got the ravens flying around. He comes in on the Pegasus. Yeah, I like that animation. That was really cool. So now we have his tier 3 skill. So let's see what this is. The Triumph of Asgard. So reduce all resistance by 50%, deal shock damage, stun, freeze, silence. It has penetration, 80% for super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immune, and invincibility. So that's quite nice. And he gets 12 seconds of invincibility. 12 seconds, that's a long time. But if I remember correctly from the skill preview, his tier 3 actually has a very long animation, so that could be why. And then he gets increased damage by 40% for one attack, which will help increase the damage. So all of that is looking really good. So let's go ahead and close out here. Yeah, I'll call him the All God here. He's the All Father. So our All Father is now a tier 3, so that's fantastic. So now we just need to try him out a little bit. But you know what? I might go ahead and, upgrade his ISO 8 set to get just some regular 6-star. I don't think I'm going to put Fully Awakened on him quite yet. 6-star, or do I even need them? What is his stats looking like? So he has a crit rate boost from his 5th skill for 30%, so we're really at 62%. And we have max ignore defense, and our skill cooldown is only off by like a percentage. So yeah, actually we don't need to do anything with the ISO 8 set, because that would just get me some more ignore defense and a little bit more attack speed, and my attack speed is already maxed and my ignore defense is already maxed, so I actually don't really need to do much with that. So we'll just leave him at his current build here. So that's his stats. Yeah, so let's go ahead and try him out a little bit and see how he does right now with the Obelisk on, and then I will switch him over to a Ctp of Rage, and if needed, put some Uru to max out his crit rate and dodge. Alright, so here we are at World Boss Ultimate. I was just trying him out a little bit here before starting the recording up. We're on stage 50 right now, and I'm trying him with a She-Hulk lead and Coulson team up here. I'm going to be just using some random strikers here. I'm not using any debuff or all defense down because he has his own all defense down, so I don't want that to start getting resisted here by Cole. So we're going to hop in and see what kind of initial damage we can get here with the 140 proc. And then I'm going to switch over to the debuff leadership with Dr. Voodoo, and then we'll see the difference in damage here. So let's just go ahead, hop right in. Alright, so we're doing some pretty good damage here when that all defense down stacks up all the way, and I've noticed that his tier 3 doesn't seem to hit very hard, because we do have all defense down right there. I'm not sure how high it's stacked up to, but I've done quite a few runs before hopping into this one here, and his tier 3 just doesn't seem to hit very hard. I don't know if like every single time I'm just having it, miss time so that it's not hitting like any of the damage procs, so that's why it seems so much weaker when my other skills are, hitting the damage proc every once in a while, whether it be half of the skill or just a quarter of the skill or something like that. So I'm curious to know if you guys have your Odin at tier 3. Do you actually get a good amount of damage out of his tier 3 skill, or does his tier 3 skill just kind of, I don't know, like more middle of the road in terms of the damage of his other skills? Because his 5 and his 4 hit pretty hard, and then I even get a little burst of damage from his 3. 2 I just use for the guard hits, not really for the damage. I think it can hit pretty hard though if you do your damage proc to line up on it. So I'm just kind of doing some random skills here. But with Odin, you do kind of stick pretty closely to his skill rotation. That's why he seems similar to Luna, where you're just kind of spamming those skills so you don't really focus too much on timing your damage proc, because if you get out of rotation, then he can die very easily. Well, I mean, Luna doesn't necessarily die very easily because she has her healing, but you know what I mean. You have to kind of stick close to a skill rotation, so that's why he seems like he's going to be a lot better at the Ctp of Rage. But as you can see there, he did pretty good here on stage 50, so let's go ahead and up the ante a little bit and move on to a higher floor and then see how he does. So now we've moved on to a floor 70 here, or a stage 70, not a floor 70, my bad. And we're going to do the same team and we'll see the difference in damage. So let's switch on over and pop the 5th skill and see what we start doing here. Yeah, as you can see, we're not doing much damage, but let's go ahead and let a few more skill rotations play out here. And I'm still not sure where I want to throw in the tier 3 skill. The tier 3 skill doesn't have any all defense down, so I know I want to do it after the 5th skill so I can get that all defense down. I'm just not sure if I should time it so that I'm using the 3rd skill right before as well. But then that kind of messes up my normal skill rotation because I stagger the 5th and the 3rd skill so that I can have that immunity up. So let's try that. I don't know if that was better or not. I think that might have actually been a little bit better to do my normal rotation, but then after the 3rd skill here to use my tier 3, that might actually be a little bit better, because I think his all defense down actually lasts for a good amount of time. So pop the 3rd skill and then go in. Oh, he removed the all defense down right there anyway. But as you can see, the damage is quite low here on stage 70 for Odin. Again, we are still just using that 140 proc, so I haven't switched him over to a Rage yet. But now, if we switch over to a Dr. Voodoo leadership, you'll see that the damage does get, oh yeah, Dr. Voodoo at level 70, does get quite a bit better. So let's go ahead and switch over to that. And I think that makes him stack up his all defense down to like minus 87% or something like that. Or maybe it was 91%. I guess we'll find out in a second here. So let's load in and see what kind of damage we do now. Switch on over. Okay. Here we go. And it goes up to 91. Okay, yeah. So now we should be seeing a pretty good, increase in his damage here. As you can see, the damage is definitely ramped up a little bit more. Yeah, so that damage is a lot better. So Odin is definitely someone that you can use the Doc Voodoo strategy with, or White Fox. You can use White Fox as well, but Odin, keep in mind, does not have the leadership tag, so he's not going to be getting that extra bonus from White Fox. So you might as well just use Doc Voodoo and save White Fox for someone else if you want to. Okay, here we go. Not going to have the all defense down here, but oh, we do have some of it. Now the tier 3 is looking a little bit better. Yeah, so maybe I want to use the tier 3 after the third skill. That looks like a good place to use it with the skill rotation that I'm using with the 5, 4, 3, and then 2. So yeah, look at that. Oops, I used the tier 3 a little early right after I said that. As you can see, yeah, the damage is pretty bad right there. His health isn't even moving. I've noticed that quite a few times on different like world bosses. You'll be doing like consistent damage, and all of a sudden they just stop taking damage. It looks like for no apparent reason, because it's not like your attacks are missing. It's not like they're dodging or moving around or anything like that. You just randomly just stop doing damage, and I have no idea why. But as you can see here, Odin is doing very, very well with the Doc Voodoo leadership. It looks like he's going to be able to get through a stage 70 here. I think he has enough time. I mean, we still have 3.5 minutes left and 12 bars, so I think we should be good. But now, after doing that brief kind of showcase there with Odin with a 140 proc, which again, he does okay with a damage proc, it's just you're not consistently going to have your proc on, you know, a single skill. So his proc's kind of going to be all over the place if you play Odin with a similar skill rotation that I do. And I use that skill rotation just to keep him protected, because we have the iframes and immunity staggered out enough that you're always going to have a skill to protect him. Because even though he has the heal on the third skill, or the constant heal, because it heals him for a while, he's still very squishy. And I just find him, he dies very, very quickly if you don't keep him protected with the other skills by spacing him out like that. But now let's go ahead and switch over to a Ctp of Rage and see what kind of damage we can do here. Alright, so as you can see, we switched over to a Ctp of Rage on him, so that's what we got. And then I did end up having to put a few Urus on him just to get the crit rate up a little bit, and also the dodge mainly, because he does have that crit rate buff. But I was looking at it, and the crit rate buff isn't really going to be up the entire time, so I did boost my crit rate just a little bit. So I'm still not sure if I'm going to max out the crit rate or not. But as you can see, we have quite a few dodge Uru on him, and then I have 2 Odin's Blessings, and those are the energy attack crit rate Urus on him. So that's what gave me a little bit more crit rate. As you can see here, we're up to 61% crit rate and 72% dodge, so we're pretty much maxed on dodge. I could put probably just one more 5-star dodge Uru on him and we'll max that out. But I'm still kind of undecided, because I think I want to save those Uru slots for crit damage, because as you can see, his crit damage is very low, so I might want to pump that up a little bit and then maybe even max out the crit rate. But I didn't want to change that too much right now, so we get a little bit of a better comparison to the kind of Obelisk that I had on before with the 140 proc. So that's why I didn't want to touch the crit damage right now, to get a little bit of a better comparison, but maybe not much, because we are going to be critting more. But anyway, now that he has a Ctp of Rage on, let's go ahead and see how he does in World Boss now. So here we are at the same stage 70 here with the same team and same strikers. I'm just going to go straight to the Doc Voodoo lead, since with the She-Hulk lead and the regular damage proc, he wasn't really doing much damage at all here. So let's see what we can do, but I will switch over to the She-Hulk lead just to see if just having a rage on him is enough to get the damage or not. So let's go ahead and switch over, and now let's see what kind of damage we are going to be doing with Odin here. Hopefully we're going to see some pretty nice damage, or else I might regret my decision on putting this rage on him, but let's find out. Ooh, that's looking good. Let's just go right into the tier 3, because why not? There we go, our rage is proccing. Go back in here. Yeah, the tier 3 still doesn't really hit that hard, and right now he's cleansing, so we're not getting our all defense down. There we go, so now we should be stacking up our all defense down again. Here we go, let's pop 3 and then go into tier 3. Okay, that's a little bit better at the start there, but the damage kind of falls off, so you know what, we're just going to cancel the third skill, or the tier 3, because you can cancel the tier 3, you just miss out on having Loki and Thor get summoned in to do extra damage. Well, that's if you cancel out early. You can actually wait until like Loki comes in and you can get some damage that way. Oh yeah, now the damage is ramping up. See, once that all defense down stacks up, because the duration on the 5th skill for the all defense down is quite long, so you can actually have it overlap into your 2nd rotation, and then you can cap out your all defense down very easily. So yeah, when that happened, we started seeing some pretty good damage there. Yeah, so that damage is pretty nice compared to just a regular Obelisk, even though it was only a 140 proc, so I don't know what I should have expected from that. But the Ctp of Rage is definitely working well on Odin here. But let's see how well it works without a Doc Voodoo's leadership. So let's go ahead and find She-Hulk again. Where are you, She-Hulk? There she is. So let's go ahead and grab her and try this one more time. I'm actually not expecting too much damage here because, as you could see with the previous round with Doc Voodoo as the lead, the damage was kind of going up and down quite a bit, and it seemed to be closely related to the all defense down. So not sure what to expect here, but hopefully he'll still do well, because then you won't have to use a debuff leadership to do these high stages of World Boss Ultimate. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, the bar's moving, so that's good. So you can definitely do okay here without the debuff leadership. So that's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and whack him with the sword again. Rain down some fire, get our accumulation going, and then back into the 5th skill. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very slow clear if we can clear it. I'm not sure. Will we be able to clear this? I don't think we're on pace here, because we get a few good bursts of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So let's see what we got. Yeah, I'm still kind of underwhelmed with how much damage the tier 3 skill does, but I don't know, it's still extra damage, it's still nice to have. And plus tier 3 you get those extra stats, so that's definitely useful. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to clear this. We're still on bar 14. But I mean, he's still doing damage, so that is nice. So it definitely has some pretty good raw damage. So now I just want to be able to try him out in against GBR for Galactus mainly, but I have to wait a few days for Galactus to come back around. So come Saturday with Galactus, I'm definitely going to be trying out Odin here against him, so you can look forward to one of those videos. But for now, this is just my initial playthrough or testing of Odin here. Now that I got into tier 3, and overall I'm quite happy with it. Definitely needed that Ctp of Rage to start seeing the damage, and of course the Doc Voodoo leadership really helps. But anyway, let me know how you guys like Odin for tier 3. Did you go with Odin? Did you go with Silver Surfer? Or which one do you think is better? Did you get Silver Surfer and then you regretted it and you wish you had gotten Odin, or vice versa? So yeah, I'm curious to know, because I'm still on the fence on whether I'm going to tier 3 my Silver Surfer. I have him ready to go, so I probably just will end up tier 3ing him when I get the books again. But yeah, we'll find out when I get the books how I'm feeling. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.